Hi everyone, it's Wednesday the 11th of September 2019. Behind that blind it's absolutely miserable, but I've been told it's going to clear up for later on, so that's all well and good. And it's Wednesday, so that means we have a look at the cinema releases. So we've not a massive load this week. We've got two that are on general release this coming Friday in the UK, and a couple that are on limited release, and one of those looks exceptional, but so obviously search it out. It looks fun if you like good and Irish sort of based. Well, I'll tell you about that in a bit. Right, let's start off with the two that are on general release that most people will know about. We've got, first of all, we got the film version of Downton Abbey. Now, if you've been living in a hole and you've never seen Downton Abbey, well, let's see, the series was on telly for a long time, and this is the sort of thing that obviously if you're not into period dramas and you've never watched Downton Abbey, or you've watched it and you don't like it, you're not going to go out and watch this. Obviously it's just a 2 hour 2 minute, so it's long, but perhaps not long enough if you get me gist in a minute of what I'm saying. It's 2 hours 2 minutes. It's a drama, and it's a continuing story of the Crawley family, wealthy owners of a large estate in the English countryside in the earlier 20th century. I don't have to go into too much of the story for you. I'm sure you know all about it. In a world where you can go back and watch things like Upstairs, Downstairs, which is still one of my loves. I mean, I like Downton Abbey, but it's not a love, obviously, as in the way things like Upstairs, Downstairs were. Which I'd go back and watch that every 2 or 3 years, if I get the time to do it. It obviously stars all the people from the series: Matthew Goody, Maggie Smith, Michelle Dockery. And at the moment, we don't have any user reviews, mainly because no one's had a really chance to see this yet. It's always all been the critics, unfortunately, who managed to get review copies and managed to see this thing. So I'm looking at it from a critic's point of view today. I'm reading what they say, and then I'll put my two pennyworth in at the end of what I think about it. What I've done with the critics' reviews is actually just stuck them all together. They get an average score of about 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, Internet Movie Database. And we go from the top score to the bottom score here. So if we look at each guys, have a quick look at each one. The Rap, David White, gives it 8 out of 10. I think I'm not the David White I know, I'm sure. This is a fan service as painstaking as any Marvel installment, and you're expected to bring your well-studied knowledge of deep bench characters and all your reserve emotional commitment with you. As reward for those loyal fans, Downton Abbey offers an enjoyment in gorgeous and exacting period detail. So he's the one who liked it the most. Then you get a 7 out of 10 from the Hollywood Reporter. Downton 2 is literally bigger, broader, more gem-encrusted, punctuated, more drone shots and monarchist pomp, and has all the major cast and members back in place. Slant Magazine, 6.3 out of 10. Every scene here feels as though it begins with a grenade being thrown into a room, leaving one to wonder how it will be diffused. And after a while, all you see are the gears of various subplots turning separately until they mesh together in wonderful unison. Well, only 6.3 out of 10. It's not exactly a rave review, is it? The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw. The plots are rickety and the characterization has a depth of a Franklin Mint plate. But there are some funny moments, and Kevin Doyle playing the overexcitable servant Mosley, I love Mosley, pretty much steals the entire film. The Telegraph, Tim Roby. Watching it is like settling into a reupholstered armchair which still creaks in the same old places. 6 out of 10. Empire Magazine, who I respect, obviously. Helen O'Hara, gentle, unchallenging drama for people who already know they like it. This is a nostalgic and rosy depiction of an England that was surely never so innocent. And you go down to the lowest mark is coming from the good old New York Post there, good old USA backing up the old British colonials. The New York Post, 3.8 out of 10. Johnny Oleksinski. Give this. Julian Fellows would have been far better off writing another relaxed Christmas special to satisfy fans. That actually, even though he's only giving it 3.8 out of 10, I can see the point in that. To me, the thing I like about Downton Abbey is the characters, the characterization. Now, you're talking probably 24 main characters, I believe, in this. So you are talking squeezing that into 2 hours. you're not going to get good, to me, you're not going to get enough of the characters. And that's why I like Downton Abbey. I love the characters in it. I love all the different, there's not even, from the good ones to the bad ones, I enjoy them all. So yeah, for 2 hours, I see what the USA guy's saying there. Yes, it is more of a Christmas special than a film movie, but I mean, it's a bit of both, isn't it? Let's face it, people going to watch this at the cinema are going to be probably the people who don't normally go to the cinema. So that's good on them. I mean, I wouldn't go to the cinema to watch a particular, unless there's nothing else at all to do in my life, which there is. But I look forward to watching it on DVD, obviously, just as and I'll watch it near Christmas time, perhaps as a little treat, obviously, like a Christmas episode. So yeah, I do see the point. But 2 hours, 24 characters. I imagine it's got. As soon as I watch this, I'll tell you. But I imagine they're going to squeeze lots and lots in this, and you don't quite get the character development that we really want to see, and I love seeing in things like Downton Abbey and all these things that run for 6-8 episodes when they do a series of it. Downton, yeah. So I'll watch it. Not a cinema film for me, obviously. They stick it at the cinema, but it'd be nice to take your gran or your mother if she likes that. If she likes Downton Abbey, nice little treat, nice little trip out to the cinema for them. So that's my thoughts anyway on Downton Abbey. But yeah, I will be watching it, and I like Downton Abbey. And I just wish there was more series rather than one-offs. But there you go. All things come to an end, don't they? Right, and I can always watch that back like I do upstairs, downstairs, can't I, in a few years' time. Right, The Hustlers now is the second one. And this is causing a bit of consternation. There are some user reviews on this. It's getting a measly 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb. But I've heard people saying Jennifer Lopez, I'm not sure, I think she's back called now, who stars in this. I've heard people saying that she deserves an Oscar for her performance in this. So, I mean, obviously, she's the standout in an average film. It's inspired by the viral New York Magazine article Hustlers, following a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. And it stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, Julia Stiles. So you've got a great cast there by the looks of it on this. I'll have a look at the user reviews on this. As I say, I had a quick check yesterday, and they're very, very mixed what people are saying on this. I do it by review date. I mean, first one here, boring. This movie is a complete and utter trash. Kate Palmer played her part well, but other than that, I would not waste my money seeing this poorly put together cast. Well, you've already wasted your money, or well, perhaps you didn't. Perhaps you got into see it free. So, all credit to you. 1 out of 10, horrendous. Stay away. The film is an absolute mess. The acting is atrocious, and the plot is beyond laughable. This makes Showgirls look like an Oscar-winning Best Picture film. I quite like Showgirls. Shame on all involved in making this garbage. Grade F-. That's someone called Magalove, not Magaloof. Magalove. And next one, we've got 10 out of 10. Here you go. This is the both extremes. J-Lo is finally stunning. Lopez's performance in this film is just as surprising as it is devastating. Wu's remarkable performance stands out as simply pleasing to the eye. Another 10 out of that was from Leonard O. Martins. And this one, 10 out of 10, amazing, from Robert Javier. Mark my word, this film is 2019's Goodfellas. Great direction, story and acting, particularly Jennifer Lopez's Ramona. Another 10 out of 10, best film of 2019 from Mephisto. 10 out of 10, J-Lo is on it. 10 out of 10, amazing. And here we go back to the other end. 2 out of 10, okay at best. I had low expectations for this movie, and didn't even meet those. The acting was so forced and unnatural, even awkward at times. A very low budget production. This movie should have been a Netflix original. I would have rather spent my money on a Netflix subscription than been able to watch multiple things. That's from Bayhive Management. And we'll finish off with another dodgy one. 1 out of 10, not their best. Well, there you go. That's Johnson Jamesha. 1 out of 10, overhyped trash from Veins 86997. So as you can see, I mean, that is an interesting one to go on. Based on that, I wouldn't, unless you're a Jennifer Lopez fan, I wouldn't rush out and watch it particularly, because obviously you're getting quite a mixed bag of things. You got someone saying the acting is superb, particularly from Jennifer Lopez and Constance Wu, and then you got another saying the acting is terrible. So, I mean, 4.7 out of 10. I would probably hang off and watch that on DVD, to be honest with you. I wouldn't waste my hard-earned at the cinema on the basis that you could be really disappointed, but you could think it's an Oscar-winning thing. But that's Hustlers, which is out at the cinema this Friday on general release. So anyway, if you do get to see it, so tell me what you think on that one. But I mean, that is a real mixed bag of opinions from people there. And the next one we're going to go at, this is one I have actually managed to go and get to see a review copy of this one. It's a film called Night Hunter. This is limited release. It's not everywhere, so you have to, if you fancy this one, you're going to have to hunt it out. It's getting a 5.8 out of 10 score on IMDb, which isn't too bad. An hour and 38 minutes. Let me just check that Hustlers for you, see how long that was. I don't think I did I? Just is it one you can fall asleep to, or is it over pretty quickly? I mean, an hour and 49, yeah. So you obviously take 10 minutes off for the credits, and it's all right. It's just enough for a power nap if it's that bad, or just enough to enjoy if it's that good. Yeah. So going back to Night Hunter, it's an action thriller, an hour and 38 minutes. A weathered lieutenant, his police force, and a local vigilante are all caught up in a dangerous scheme involving a recently arrested, troubled man who's linked to years of female abductions and murders. It stars Alexandra Daddario, Henry Cavill, Minka Kelly, and it doesn't tell us of it. My favourite, Ben Kingsley's in this as well, but it doesn't even mention him. I'm sure he comes in later. Stanley Tucci as well. I mean, so there's some great actors in this. I mean, it's 5.8 out of 10. I give it 6.5 out of 10. Let me just go through a couple of user reviews and I'll tell you my thoughts on the film once I've read a couple of these user reviews and see what points they're making. Right, here we go. Firearms trainer, I don't know who he is. He said the script editing and directing sinks this faster than an SUV on Myrtle Beach. Well, there you go. That's obviously with firearms trainer. That's a sort of comment I'd expect, I suppose. 7 out of 10. This is a bit more like my score. There's no safety on that. No God, no masters. 7 out of 10. Pretty nice. Lee E.N.N. Well, I get that the movie has some flaws, but it was enjoyable anyway. Pretty nice, yeah. 5 out of 10. Too many things. So this is near the IMDb score. Snoopy style. Young women go missing in Minnesota. A serial killer is hunting Michael Cooper. Ben Kingsley is a retired judge who turned vigilante after the murder of his family. He used his protege Lara as bait to catch sex offenders. Marshall, Henry Cavill, is a world-weary sex crime investigator. He struggles to stay connected to his young daughter and is the new investigator for the unit. Lara gets caught up by the serial killer. There's a lot going on. It's too many things. That's it. 10 out of 10. Great film. That's Jack Raymond. Anyone who cannot apprentice this thriller, or is that appreciate? Obviously, the spell check has gone a bit wrong there on his comments. Anyone who cannot appreciate this thriller and put on trolling reviews are saddos and obviously lacking common sense in their lives. 6 out of 10. A bit more like my score. This movie, I won't even say his name. It's a bit rude. This movie works like a wake-up call for parents that don't think internet or social media can be a dangerous place. I think that's its purpose. Probably with something like this. Yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash. I mean, there's good bits in it, and it could have been. You just got the feeling that even though the style of the film is nothing new, obviously hunting for the paedophiles and serial killers, etc. It is quite good. I mean, it's quite well acted. Some great actors in there, but it does let down. I mean, it is a bit of a mishmash. I wouldn't go to the cinema to watch it particularly. I won't say to you, rush out and see it, find out where it is showing. I'd wait for it on DVD, and it is watchable. So I give it 6.5, which is a nice watchable score in my opinion. Ben Kingsley's Ben Kingsley, and it's some good elements and a couple of nice little twists in it, but not the greatest. But there is a lack of good serial killer sort of things at the moment. So why not go out and watch it? You might enjoy it. Otherwise, just what I would personally advise anybody to wait for the DVD or watch it, stream it on one of the channels where you can do the streaming. That's Night Hunter. That's on limited release this week. And the last one I'm going to look at is one that I do want to watch. I've seen trailers of it, and I've read some reviews on this, and it's getting some positivity. It's a film called Extraordinary. It's a comedy, fantasy, horror. As I said, it's Irish based. I'm not sure if Ireland actually backs it financially, but let's just have a quick look on here. Country, Ireland and Belgium. Yeah, so Belgium have backed this as well. Obviously, it's in English, so obviously don't worry about the Belgium aspects of it. It's an hour and 34 minutes, a 15 rating. Comedy, fantasy, horror. Rose, a sweet, lonely driving instructor in rural Ireland, is gifted with supernatural abilities. Rose has a love-hate relationship with her talents and tries to ignore the constant spirit. So it's not something we've seen time, it's not something new that we've not seen time and time again, obviously. Let me have a look at some of the Metacritic reviews on this. It's getting an overall score at 7 out of 10, which is very, very good. If I read a couple of these, there's not many. There's only 4 reviews on the Metacritic, so I'll read those out anyway. 9 out of 10 from Film Threat, Bobby Lapira. Those expecting that a movie about an occult sacrifice to ever become scary will be disappointed with Extraordinary. The filmmakers use the trappings of that kind of film for an all-out comedy. Thanks to its non-stop jokes, strong, likeable characters, a marvellous cast, the movie is hysterical. So you give it 9 out of 10, and then you get a 3 7 out of 10s here, perhaps a bit more reasonable. Obviously, Screen International, Wendy-eyed. The humour is low-key, repeatedly minding the juxtaposition of the supernatural and the banal. A likeable performance from Maeve Higgins is the picture's driving force. So she wasn't overly impressed. The Hollywood Reporter, John Defoe, a well-tuned vehicle for the comic charms of Irish stand-up Maeve Higgins. So I don't know Maeve Higgins myself, but the snippets I've seen, she does a sort of humour and a style of delivery does appeal to me. So I might try and find her out and give her a watch. Variety, and finally, Variety, Dennis Harvey. Extraordinary is a kind of tea-cosy Ghostbusters that's constantly funny and pleasantly off-kilter way. So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things in it where in a supernatural film, I think I would find quite scary. A couple of where bodies hovering and scary things, and there's funny things where I think she's driving a car. Obviously, the Maeve Higgins in this, and there's a couple of people in blankets go walking across the road, and they're actually ghosts, but I mean they're just to the old style with the holes cut out of their eyes, sort of thing. And it looks really good. I mean, I will seek this out. I'm not sure I'll get to the cinema to watch it, but I'll certainly watch it on DVD or stream it when I get a chance. Extraordinary. It does look quite funny. If you like funny scare, like the old scary movie films, things like that. They're stupid, but obviously seek it out. That's Extraordinary. That's out. So that's on limited release. So have a look around. It is on a couple of the like Cineworld and Showcase. Go on their sites and see there may be a limited showing of it. We've got Night Hunter again, which is limited. It's okay. Wait for the DVD on that one. And the two biggest really were Downton Abbey and Hustlers, which I think Hustlers, well, I'm not going to say. Just, if you go and watch Hustlers, let me know what you think. Is it 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10? And Downton Abbey, well, no more could be said, really. I mean, it's that sort of thing you're either going to go out and watch or you're not. Anyway, that's today. A bit of a shorter one today, just under 20 minutes. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you can. Tell your friends about these film reviews I do. Obviously, on Monday, I did DVD, Blu-ray reviews. Tuesday, I had a look at a board game on Tuesday, a modern board game based on a TV quiz. So that's interesting. Go to my Bernard YouTube and Bernard and YouTube, have a look at those. Tomorrow, I'll be having my regular look at 10 great movies from the 90s and the 2000s. I'm looking at the films and also checking out the posters, and all those posters and DVDs, old DVDs are available on my website. That's moviegamenostalgia.com. Have a look on there. The links are below here on my on YouTube, so please have a look around there. Anything you want to buy, old rare DVDs, posters, just give us a shout. If I haven't got them, give us a shout. I'll try and find them for you. Always try and help people out. If I can't get it myself, I'll help people out find it. I'm on Facebook at Bernard Deneen with links to Movie Game Nostalgia. On Bernard Deneen YouTube as well, I do a little little football thing as well now. Little week. Well, I've done 3 so far. Obviously, it mainly be weekly. It'll be a weekly podcast. There'll be some weeks where there may be a couple out, because I look back at history as well as modern times. So there'll always be regular videos going on there under Bernardine YouTube if you like football, in particular Manchester City. On Friday I'll be doing the movie quiz, so that'll be great for Friday. Whatever you're doing today, if you any plans, and they say it's going to brighten up later. I'm off to a testimonial football match later on. I believe the weather's going to be cleared up for that, so I'm going to enjoy that. So whatever you lot are doing, you enjoy, and I hope to see you. I'll come back tomorrow for the 90s and 2000s. It's always good fun looking back at some of the older 20 odd year old films that we dig up on that, and please come back and watch that tomorrow and give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Any subscriptions will be great. Anyway, whatever you're doing today, have a great one, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.